Here's a song that embodies many of the truths about you. It's called Greater Power. One life beating all our hearts. One love living in everyone. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. One truth defined in you and me. A path to follow yourself to your source. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. And here we are on a Sunday, and the greater power is in you. And that's what we're going to be exploring today. So before we begin that, know that you, wherever you are watching, anywhere in the world, check in. Check in on YouTube. Check in on Facebook. Say hello. Let me know you're out there, what you're thinking. Because what I want to do today is I'm going to be starting a series. And the series is going back to the truth about science of mind. And it's going to be based on the book by Ernest Holmes called How to Use the Science of Mind. So I'm going to take us deeper into the understanding of the creative power that exists within us. And so what I'm uncovering is that the power of our thought causes us to have experience. And one of the things that's driving everything these days is fear. And so using and understanding that, think about what is one of the things that causes us the greatest fear. I'm going to tell you here in the United States what it is. Getting a letter from the Internal Revenue Service. And when you open the letter, it doesn't say, hey, just checking to see how you're doing, trying to make sure you got enough money to live your life. No. The letter says you made a mistake in your taxes and you owe us $5,000. That happened to me a week and 2 days ago. And you know, for the first time, I didn't pucker. You know the pucker I'm talking about, don't you? When you get, oh, no. Didn't happen. Because here's why. I knew that I had a great accountant, and this must have been a mistake. And so throughout the week, I was and it had to do with my solar panels that I had put on my home. So throughout the week, I gathered information, knowing that the process was going to just unfold. And I did so with sheer confidence. And I got the information forwarded to the accountant. I had an appointment on Friday at 4 p.m. I walked into my appointment on time, walked in, shook hands with my accountant. He says, how you doing? I said, I'm doing great. How you doing? He said, doing great. He said, you sent me this information. I looked at everything. You can go home. I'll send you a letter on Monday. You owe the IRS nothing. I was there less than a minute. I didn't lose any sleep. I didn't worry because I paused, which is one of the spiritual practices that we teach at Agape. Pause and get focused on it. Focus on what is the truth. The truth is, I know that what I did was right. And I know that everything would be made known to me. Now, I had to move my feet. I couldn't just wait. I had to go to the solar company and get all the right data, make sure the data was correct and that type of thing. And then it all worked out. You see, that's the power of creation. And we're going to really begin to explore that today as we explore the science of mind and how we can use it to create our lives. So before we go into the talk, let's take a moment and let's get centered. So I want you to become comfortable. Take a comfortable, seated, upright position. Your back straight. Let your hands gently rest on your lap. Close your eyes and allow my voice to relax you. The very sound of my voice is very relaxing. And so take a deep breath in and now release. Take another one in. Know that you're nourishing yourself. And now release, knowing that it's purifying your body. One more really deep breath in. Fully nourished. And now one coming out, purifying. Now just notice how relaxed your body is. How comfortable it is. And I want you to let go of all of your thoughts. Realizing your mind doesn't need to do anything right now. Just become still. Allow a sense of peace to fill your mind. Realize that peace and relaxation are your natural states. Anything else besides being relaxed and peaceful is the ego stirring you up. That's the ego's job. The ego's job is to bring contrast into our lives so that we can have sensory experience, emotional experience. That's what gives life its zest, its juice. But the true nature is peaceful and is relaxing. And so we come here to recharge. Not only to recharge, but it's a perfect time to reboot. Just like a computer, we're rebooting our mind, bringing it back to ground zero, where we can start creating fresh, new, by using the creative power that is always within us. So consciously breathe in the awareness of this power that is in you, that's always been with you. And know that it is there to serve you whenever you call upon it. It will never let you down. So bring your mind and your heart into a state of gratitude. Filling yourself with gratitude. Give thanks for the magnificent, unique expression of love that you are. And fully embody that your uniqueness is what makes you special. It's what makes you whole. It's what makes you and gives you purpose. And so in gratitude, start to bring your awareness back to this time, to this place. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, move your body a little bit, and come back to this time and this place. So I'm going to invite you today, when I'm doing my talk, write your comments down. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have questions about anything? That'll help me address them as I go forward in this series. So today, I'm going to talk about how to use the science of mind. And my talk today will be about individualizing universal power. Just think of those three words: individualizing universal power. In other words, a universal power is a power that's everywhere. And we're individualizing it based on our point of consciousness within it. Ernest Holmes said this. He started almost every talk that he ever did, every lecture, he started with this statement: there is a power for good in the universe, available to everyone, and you can use it. Every talk started with that. And from that premise, he then expounded, he extrapolated, and he broke down, what is this power? What is this universe? How is it available? And then he gave us the secrets, which are not secrets. He gave us the blueprint of how we can use that power to create the life that we desire. In this series, we're going to explore this power, how it is, what it is, how it works, how we can use it to help ourselves, and how we can use it to help others. This power is just like electricity. It can make our life better or worse, depending on how we use it. Think about that. Electricity can light things up. You can use electricity to cook. You can use electricity to drive a car. You can use electricity to fry yourself by connecting to it wrong. It can kill you as much as make your life simple. The key is knowing how to work with it. And that's the key for this series, is how do we work with this power to create our life experience? You see, Ernest Holmes said, spirit, the universe, infinite intelligence, is the creative cause back of and within everything. So Ernest was saying is that there is an infinite power that creates all things, that not only is in back of me, creating for me and through me, but this power is actually within me and it's responding to me. And when I'm using the word me, it's you as well. It responds to everyone the same way. There are no favorites to this power. That's really key to understand. No one is better or worse in the eyes of the creative power. The key is, do you have the tools to understand how to use it? You see, this spirit, and when I use spirit, I'm using spirit with a capital S. I'm talking about the universal intelligence. I'm talking about an infinite power and presence that we call God. Ernest said this spirit is innumerable, individualized points of consciousness of an absolute which remains one, undivided and indivisible unity. Isn't that interesting? So probably the easy way to describe it, innumerable points of consciousness. That would be like in the ocean, there are innumerable drops of water. But even though there's all these innumerable drops of water, the ocean is still one. It's still this incredible body of water, even though there are all these drops of water. It's undivided. There's unity. That's the same thing with spirit. So instead of drops of water, think of points of consciousness. Instead of thinking the ocean, think about universal consciousness. Can you follow that definition there? It is because this creative mind, this intelligence flows through us. And because it flows through us, our thought is creative. It is our nature that creates, not our will. Did you get that? The power of the ocean is behind every drop of water in the ocean. The power of universal creativity is responding to the nature of our thought. Think about how powerful that is. That actually, it's not a power within us. We're actually using the universal power that created everything. You see, each person, you and I and every person on the planet, is an individualized center of divine thought. And through us and them, this individualized center is finding a fresh starting point to use this power. In other words, the universal intelligence is creating infinitely through each of us. It is getting to experience itself through how we use this power. You see, we as humans cannot alter the laws of nature, but we can alter our relationship to them. In other words, we can be a conscious creator. We no longer have to be a victim. By listening to this series, you're going to understand that we are 100% responsible for our life experience. We are no longer and can no longer call us a victim. You see, we may not control everything that happens to us, but we control our response to everything. And that response goes into universal intelligence and creates our experience. And let me say this is all we're here for, is experience. As I study the world today, and I study what are people looking for in the world today, there are two things that people are looking for today more than ever. And I'll know you agree. And I'm going to ask you in the comments section on YouTube or on Facebook, because we're simultaneously broadcasting this, write the comment. Yes or no. You're looking for two things. One is you're looking for meaning. You're looking for, what is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? Why am I here? You're looking for meaning. The second thing you're looking for is connection. You're looking to connect with others. You're looking to connect with nature. You're looking to connect with something that you know is greater than you are. I believe that when we're on a journey to discovering our true meaning and connecting at a greater way to all that is, our lives take on a whole new perspective. And that's the intention of this series that I'm doing on how to use the science of mind. You see, Ernest Holmes said really clearly, what we're talking about is not a guess. This is a science. And it can be replicated over and over by everyone who uses it, if they use it the way it's meant to be used. You see, spirit, universal intelligence, God, is forever unfolding its divine nature through us. And guess what? This unfoldment happens independent of us. However, in our own personal lives, it does through our thinking. The best way I can do this and bring this to clarity is the fact that I think back when my mother was alive. And I think back how she was such a part of my life, such a part of life of everyone that she was in contact with. and my mother died. Do you know what? Life didn't stop. Life continued on as if nothing happened. There was no void. Now, my personal life was changed in that moment, and it changed because of how I was thinking. The grieving process gets you from the point of missing someone to the point of understanding that they had completed their journey here and they were moving on to a greater expression of life. But because they moved on doesn't mean it's time for you to stop. Your journey has always been a journey by yourself. You choose to be with people while on the journey, but it's a journey that only you're taking. Because only you understand your level of awareness. Only you understand what is the meaning you're seeking to bring out of life. Only you can understand how connected you are and what type of connection is relevant. No one else can understand that. I'm going in my 49th year of marriage. I don't know what my wife's journey is, what really brings her meaning and purpose. Only she does. So for me to ask the question, I wonder what's going on in her mind, it's really not a relevant question. The question I ask my wife is this: how can I support you on your journey? That's a good question. And I think when we're looking to be with people, I think supporting one another is the greatest way for us to unfold in meaning, in purpose, and in connection. Our use of this law, of these natural laws, is individual and personal. We're using this law based on whether we're conscious of it or unconscious of it. So it's personal to us based on our level of awareness, our level of consciousness. You may be using the law right now. No, not maybe. You are using the law right now, whether you're aware of it or not. Because the sum total of your thoughts, this law is creating your experience, whether you're aware of it or not. And it's individual to you. But here's the key thing. If you're not fully aware, all of the thoughts of society around you that are feeding you can become your mental atmosphere, become this total of what you're thinking about. And that will be created so you could get an experience that everyone else is having because you're thinking the same thoughts. However, the second you begin to think for yourself and you build a new thought atmosphere, the law responds and gives you a different experience. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want the experience of everyone else around you, talk like they talk about what they talk. But if you want something different, you've got to be unique. You've got to think different thoughts. You've got to speak different words. You've got to feel different feelings, and you've got to take different actions. And that law, that universal law, will respond directly to who you are. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. You see, in this law, there is no discernment as to whether something is right or something is wrong about how we're using the laws. The law doesn't judge. It just mirrors back to you who you are. So as you look at your life and there's something you want to see shifted, realize that you have to shift the image of that in your own mind. So if you remember, Ernest started off with that statement at the beginning, there is a power for good. I'm changing that statement right now because good is judgmental. This power gives you both good and bad depending on your perspective. So I'm going to ask you to listen really clearly as I fill in my perception of what this statement is. There is a creative power that is everywhere present. It is always responding to the nature of our thoughts, and we can consciously choose how we use it. So I'm basically saying there is a universal creative power. Because it's universal, it can do anything and it's everywhere. This power is always responding to the nature of our thoughts. It's always responding. It never takes a break. It's responding to the nature of our thoughts. It responds to them whether they're conscious or unconscious. And here's the key. Here's where our power is. And we can consciously choose how we use this power. And what we will be doing for the next 9 coming weeks is exploring how do we become masters of using this power? How do we become masters of how to use the science of mind? Let us pray. I know that there is an infinite power and presence. I call it spirit. I call it God. I call it infinite mind. I know because it is infinite that I and you are one with it. I am a drop in the ocean. You are a drop in the ocean. We're all part of that magnificent ocean where everything is present. There's no needs whatsoever. At the core of all that I am and the core of all that you are, we are whole, connected, perfect, powerful in this very moment. We have a power because there is a universal power that surrounds us and is in us and works through us. And today we become aware of that in a clearer way than we ever have before. And we start to consciously take back our ability to live and use this power consciously, to use it for our greater meaning and purpose in life, and to feel a connection to life, to love, to joy, to peace, to abundance, to health, to love beyond anything we can even yet imagine. For what I know is in every moment, the imagination of love can expand into a greater, greater, greater yet to be. I feel this at the core of all that I am, not only for me, but for each of you. And my heart fills with gratitude. It is in giving thanks that I release this power into that creative medium, knowing that it has already taken it and it has made it so. And so I bless it, I call it good, and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Well, if this message touched you in any way, and you would like to support the mission of Agape of bringing this message of personal responsibility and self-empowerment to the world, I invite you to make a donation to Agape. You can find it in a link right below in your YouTube description or in the Facebook description, or go to AgapeSpiritualCenter.com, AgapeSpiritualCenter.com, and make a donation there. While you're there, look at the calendar. Check out the calendar and see all the things that we offer for you. We have 7 days a week. We have meditation that you can join us at 7 a.m. Central Time for 20 minutes. Every day at 8 o'clock, I do Thoughts That Can Change Your Life on Facebook and YouTube. We have a men's group. We have Agape gatherings. We have classes. We have so much available where you can plug in. We are a worldwide digital community with a strong local presence here in the North Texas area. And wherever you are every bit as valuable as anyone who comes and hears this message. I want you to know that in my heart, I know the truth for you. I am here to support you in any way I can spiritually. So if you need one of the things we talk about at Agape, if you would like prayer support, if you would like clarity, ask. We say that all the time. We cannot read your mind. Ask, and it will be given. With that in mind, I'm going to ask you to create your greatest week ever. If this message touched you, share it with your friends. By God, they deserve to hear it so that they can be empowered as well. Until next week, create a great day, create a great life. I love you just the way you are.